Hello and good morning, good afternoon and good evening to you, the good morning people of the show. Hope you're well today. Hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. Hello there. Are you ready for some more terrible bass playing, everybody? I certainly hope so. Yes, I thought I would show you this awesome instrument that came my way, well, how many, fair few months ago now, to be honest with you. This, I think actually beginning of this year, come to think of it. This is a 1970s Columbus jazz bass copy, everybody. That was well, it's a weird story, really. It was donated to some people we know, and they said, "Is this any good?" And to my dad, they asked my dad, "Is this bass any good? Is it worth anything?" And my dad said, "I don't know. I'll bring it home and talk to me, and we'll have a look." Anyway, when it came home, I had a look at it. It wasn't worth anything. It didn't play. The action was about that high. The neck was like, it was so up-bowed you could skate on it. It was, and it didn't work. It made no noise. It just made that horrible, statically horrible noise, which we all hate. So I was like, right, but the condition of this bass is like pristine almost. It's got like a little chip here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. It's got a little chip there in the paint, and I think that's about it. It's got a scratch, a weird scratch under the scratch plate. I don't know what that was from, but that's there. Other than that, this bass is like in pristine condition. It's still got the lacquer on the frets, which is a bit weird. They've lacquered, lacquered the whole neck, didn't take the lacquer off the frets, but you can kind of hear it. There's this kind of like clunky, rattly, weird noise. Anyway, yeah. So I was like thinking, well, the bass is in such awesome condition, and the neck is a baseball bat, but it's really comfy. I really like it. It's really comfy for me when I put my hand around it. So I was like thinking, right, well, I'm gonna try and make it work. I don't want to just say it's knackered and that's all there is to it. So I set out on a many months long, of taking this thing apart, resetting the neck, trying to get the truss rod to move, getting the intonation right, getting the saddles right, getting the electrics right. And only now, I think we got this in March. I think we got given this in March to kind of like, to see if it's any good in March. And it's only just like in the last 2-3 weeks, I've finally got it to behave. The truss rod seems to have started to work again, which is awesome. It didn't work at all. When I first got it, the truss rod was null and void. It basically wasn't doing anything. It was slackened all the way off when I got it, hence the crazy up bow. It was horrific. It was not to tension either. It was like above tension. So the neck was just absolutely cranked. It was terrible. But throughout the months, I've just been adjusting the truss rod, putting it back to tension, gradually kind of bring it back, and it's brought the neck back in the line, which is really, really awesome. Which means it plays better than it did when I first got it. And it plays best now than it ever has over the last couple of months. Over the kind of like half a year I've had this working on it. It's really started to behave itself now and really started to kind of like, come back to life, so to say. And I'm playing it a lot as well, which helps no end. So it's sadly missing its ashtray covers. I do have a thumb rest, even though I don't use it. It's just there for no, it's mounted up here, but I don't use it. It's all stock. There's nothing changed on it whatsoever. You've got the original machine heads, which are absolutely beastly machine heads. Really, really awesome machine heads. Original pickups, original pots, original wiring, original everything. It just is missing its ashtray covers, which is kind of sad. I would have liked them. I wouldn't have used them, but I would have liked to have them. But yeah, I love it. I absolutely love this bass. It's a really nice maple neck. It is a bit of a baseball bat. I don't know if you have to see, but it is a bit of a baseball bat. It's got a weird serial number. If anybody knows anything about Columbuses or these Japanese copies, can somebody let me know what 10-F means? I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Can I shadow it? I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Hopefully you can. But yeah, if anybody knows what that means, could they let me know in the comment section below? Because I've got no clue. Anyway, I had to shim the neck up. I had to redo the intonation a million trillion times. I still don't think the intonation's 100%, but it's close enough. Close enough for live. It works fine. It's good enough at this point in time. Yeah, it's awesome. It's an absolutely awesome bass. I love the black binding on the neck and the black block inlays. Anyway, enough jabbering on about it, but let's hear it. I'm going through my brother's Ampeg SVT4 Pro today, everybody. I've got a special bass amp today and a 410 Ampeg Classic cab, which I love. I love this setup so much. It's really, really nice. Okay, so so let's show you some sounds. This is everything flat out. So basically both pickups on, tone all the way up. Nice start. So that's everything flat out, and apart from my terrible bass playing. So, bass players of the world, feel free to laugh hysterically at my expense. Okay, so this is just the bridge pickup. Okay, and this is the neck pickup on its own. I love the neck pickup. The neck pickup's got a real nice kind of fat warmth to it. Records really well, that pickup does. Really, really cool. And then there's the tone dial. Which is actually works really well. It's actually quite gradual. Some cheap electric kind of tone dials are just kind of like, you know, all full or all off. But this one's actually got quite a lot of increments of different tones. It's really nice. You kind of hear it. You just kind of get the wah thing going on when you can turn it all down. But it's really, really nice. The pickups are a bit unbalanced, I've got to say. Like, if you listen to the G, D, and E, G, D, and A, and then the low E, it sounds a bit weird. One sec. Someone's coming to the door with a parcel. 1 second, I'll be back. Don't these people know I'm trying to film a video for YouTube? Good gravy. Anyway, hello again, everybody. What even English? I don't even know what that was. Anyway, there's Dave gibberish, everybody. That's what I like to speak in. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, the pickups aren't particularly even. Like, the low E is really round, but then the A, D, and G are really quite bright in comparison. You know what I mean? And when you play them all in chords, the kind of low E can kind of get lost. You know, it's there, but it's always very low. And if you're doing like a walking blues kind of bass line in E and then go to A, you can already hear it in that Tarantula song. You can hear the tone change. You know what I mean? So I think there's something not quite right with the pickups. So at some point, I do have a set of Mexican Fender Jazz pickups, which I think I'm going to stick in this, which is a real shame because I do like the sound of a bass, but it's just its unevenness kind of causes issues, if you know what I mean, especially when recording. You kind of have to stick to kind of one string really because it goes weird. So I'm going to try putting these Mexican pickups in it at some point soon. But for this point in time, I wanted to keep it stock just to show you it's stock because I love this bass so much. I'm a cruddy bass player, but it is good fun. I love playing bass. It's really good fun. You get to do this. Oh, nice start. Bit too much on the treble side. You can kind of hear the pickups there as well. The G string's really bright. Yeah, it's a very kind of strange kind of unevenness that this bass has got, which is kind of annoying in a way. But let's stick to the plectrum a sec. Let's do some. Anyway. Moving along. So yeah, it's just a really, really, it plays really nicely. I say my only pet peeve with it are those pickups. They just seem to be a bit, like I say, they're just a bit uneven and not very, they don't feel and sound very balanced to me. What people of a tube, what do you think to the pickups? If I just play a chord of a plectrum, just just go down the strings of a plectrum, as even as I can, what do you think? Then with the fingers. There seems to be like this extra added brightness when you go to the A, D, and G strings that isn't there on the low E. The low E is really fat, warm, and round, and then the A has this kind of like, you know, proper jazz kind of sound. It's very strange. It's like the low E string pole pieces are kind of like down on power a bit. It's very strange. I don't know. Hopefully that'll come across, but let me know what you think, people of the tube. Especially any bass players out there. Let me know what you think. Okay, so. But yeah, other than that, I love this bass, and it is in absolutely amazing condition. It came in a hard case. It would originally come in a soft case, this bass. I did have one. I had a rosewood-necked one, which was actually, as much as it pains me to say it, a lot better than this one. This one isn't as good as the rosewood-necked one I had, and that was like museum quality condition. The rosewood-necked one, it had all the covers, it had the original like truss rod jack socket, it had the original soft case, it had everything with it. But because of that reason is that I never wanted to play it because it was so pristine. Everything was so pristine. I was like a bit like hesitant, always hesitant to play it, which is a bit silly, really. But I was just like, oh, it's too clean. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. Whereas this one kind of shows a bit of age and it shows a bit of use, and because of that, I'm not so worried about like if it gets like dinted or dented or the paint starts wearing off or whatever I do to it, I'm not that worried about it. It's kind of cool because it gives me that ability. It's one of those things especially in old instruments that I like. If it's been a bit kind of like used and abused, so to say, it makes it a lot more comfortable for you to play it because you're not worried about kind of like if it's already kind of like been messed about with, you don't have to worry about it so much. If it's mint condition, like you're a bit like, oh, I don't want to do anything. Strange, really, because it shouldn't really matter at the end of the day. It really shouldn't really matter. Anyway, yes, I have a pedal on the floor which gives me different sounds, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a secret. Ha! You'll see what it is next week, next Friday. But it's just, it's giving me a couple of different effects. Chorus is lovely. Oh, is it? Love chorus on bass, sounds really lovely. You can also add a compression and this awesome reverb. So it's just a really cool bass. I just wanted to show you because next week is going to be a busy week of interesting stuff, and I just wanted to get this out of the way because there's a couple of other things I want to do as well, and I just really wanted to show this bass off because I love it so much, and and embarrass myself a little bit with my amazing bass playing. You want a bass player? Don't call me. Okay, so yeah, where are we? I don't know anymore. It's the Twilight Zone. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, just a little short video. I didn't say that. I didn't mean to say that, should I say? Just a short video today. On it's all going wrong. Okay. I'll say base of the world, feel free to laugh. But okay, yeah, so I just want to show you this really, really cool, awesome base. I love it to bits. Like I said, I like the fact it's been used and abused a bit as well, because it just gives me like less worry about like, you know, indenting it or whatever I've done. Because I've had to have the neck off like a million times because the truss rod adjustment is down here, it's not up there. So to adjust the truss rod, unfortunately, I've had to take the neck off, which I hate doing. But to get the neck straight, it has been worth it. But there has been many big words shouted at this base because it has been an absolute pig. But now it's been, but now the way it feels to play, really it's paid off. It really has paid off. It feels great to play. It really is lovely. Even a cack-handed bass player like me can kind of like get through things with it. It's really cool. So yeah, I say just a little short video. I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Even with my immensely bad playing, but look at the wood on the neck. I don't know if you have to see this, but the wood on the neck is gorgeous. Hope you can kind of see that. Hope you can see. Hope you can see. Hope you can see. But it's a gorgeous neck on this bass. It really is. It's a baseball bat, but it's comfy. The maple neck feels great to play on. The frets, I've got little to absolutely no wear on them whatsoever. It does need a new nut. The A string at this point, the A string has actually fallen so far. It's resting on the first fret. But a new nut on this thing with the binding is beyond my expertise, so I'm going to give it to a friend or a local luthier to get it sorted with a better nut, because this one's just worn out. I don't know what year it is. I think it's an early 70s Columbus bass. I'm not 100% sure, but it's very cool. If you can see one of these, they normally go dead cheap. They're awesome basses. They're worth getting if you want a really awesome kind of cheapish bass. They're really amazing. Okay, so yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. Hope I haven't annoyed you too much with my horrific bass playing. And yeah, I will see you again on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great weekend indeed. And I'll see you again on Monday for an amp demo. No, I won't tell you what it is. Well, over the weekend, it'll pop up on the YouTube community thing. I'll put a picture up of next week's demos of what I'm going to be doing. So, because I've been very kindly sent 2 things to demo, and I'm really looking forward to next week's demos. And then the week after that, we're going to do some more teaching stuff. And we're going to teach you some kind of get out of jail free things for when you're soloing and stuff like that. So that's the week after. And some other bits and pieces. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video on this awesome 1970s Columbus jazz bass copy. I love it to bits. And yeah, I'll see you again very soon for another one. I think I'm waffled on for way too long. Shut up, Dave. Shut up. Goodbye now. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening. I forgot to say that. Something.